Hello and welcome to today's 15-minute morning yoga flow. It's going to be a somatic practice, so we're focusing less on how the postures look and more on how they feel in our body. More about feeling and releasing energy here. So grab your mat. I don't usually say props for classes in the morning, but if you do want props to help support you, please grab them. Blankets, pillows. I'm going to have a blanket laid down on my mat just for a slightly cozier vibe, but that's me. Whatever you want to do. We're going to set ourselves up, maybe crisscross, maybe sitting on your heels, whichever feels better. Right away, just reaching the crown of your head up, dropping the shoulders back. Close your eyes. Take a nice big inhale, filling at the top, holding there. And empty. Do it again. Inhale, reach. And exhale, softening the shoulders. We're going to do 2 breaths before we exhale. Fill all the way up to the top. One more. And empty. And then you're going to take your right arm, reach it across your body. Your left hand comes to the right forearm, pulling it out. You're going to take a glance over your right shoulder, pulling just a little bit with your left hand, dropping your shoulder away from your ear. Take a nice inhale. And empty. And then we'll unbend our elbow, bringing it back in. Reach your left arm across your body, pull with the right hand, look off over the left. Drop your shoulder away, big breath. Empty out. Do it again, fill up. And sigh. We're gonna come back through center. Take a nice big stretch overhead, reach. And on the exhale, just taking your hands behind your neck here, just supporting the base of your skull as your chin lifts high. Big breath in. And empty. Now you can keep one hand behind and move one hand to your forehead if you would like, maybe keeping the gaze high or maybe just centering your gaze to a focal point in front of you. Fill up. Empty. Maybe closing your eyes. We're going to switch, taking your opposite hand back if you chose to do this. Bringing the front hand up to your forehead, big breath in. Empty out. And then we're going to release our arms, walking your hands behind your back here, opening up the shoulders and the chest. Take your chin high. And then exhale, start to tilt your chin down to your chest. And then start to unroll your shoulders. Walk your hands out in front of you here as far as you can, and then chuck your chin back in. We're going to walk our hands over to the right side. And then over to the left. Feeling just a little tension in the back of the right hip. Sending your breath right there, big inhale. And send your exhale out. And then walk back through center. Taking your hands back in, you're going to take your right hand to your left shoulder and your left hand under your arm, so right above your armpit, right in your armpit basically. We're going to hold ourselves strong, big squeeze, big thank you to your body for everything it allows you to do. Inhale. Empty. And then we're going to start to squeeze with the right hand on the left shoulder, going up the left shoulder, up the neck, little squeezes, little massaging all the way to your ear, around the top of the ear, coming back down onto the neck, little pinches, little squeezes, whatever feels good here. Just a little bit of pressure, going all the way down the forearm, onto the hand, your fingers, all the way to the tips of the fingers. Little presses. Up the wrist, up the arm, until you meet right where you started. We're going to switch hands, so taking your right hand underneath your right arm over. Big squeeze to start. Inhale. Exhale. Inhaling everything good. And exhaling all the waste. Start your squeezes. We'll start going up the shoulder, up the arm, onto the neck, little pinches, little squeezes, whatever feels good. Going maybe behind the ear, maybe right on it, up and down, just pressing. And then going down the arm, down the shoulder, the elbow, the forearm, onto the wrists, the palm, fingertips, little squeezes. And then back up, meeting right where we started. Holding on to that hug for one more breath. Exhale. And then we'll make our way onto our back in a Shavasana pose. So taking your feet out wide, maybe tilting the toes to the ends of the mat, tucking your shoulders underneath, starting to soften from head to toe. Just seeing how things feel in your body, just taking note. Big breath in and exhale. Maybe you can release in your eyebrows, your nose. Maybe you can release in your jaw, opening your mouth, maybe sticking out your tongue. Maybe you can release in your neck. Maybe that requires you to roll over onto one cheek. Set an intention for this day, something good. Whether it's just to be kinder to yourself, to show people more love, to show yourself more love, more grace. And then we're going to bend our knees in. You can take your feet mat width apart and drop your knees in together. You can bring one hand to your heart and one to your belly, letting your low back just soften into the mat. Letting your elbows bend out a little further to the side, letting your shoulders relax, your neck soften. Big breath in. Empty. Just being here with yourself, protecting your heart, protecting your space. Reminding yourself, I am safe. And carrying that through the rest of your practice, the rest of your day. As you sit here, maybe picturing a warm light just radiating over your heart. Maybe it's a soft yellow, maybe a bright orange. Maybe it's like a twinkling star, or maybe it's just like a fuzzy ball. We're going to let this light hover over us through our whole practice today. So taking your knees back up towards the ceiling, heel-toeing your feet in so they're just parallel. We're going to take our hands up and we're going to start to rock our knees, working on some mobility, some 90-90s. It's okay if you have to re-scoot your body close together. And then we're going to drop our knees off to the left and make our way over to a child's pose. So just setting yourself up. You can keep your knees together if you want some extra support today, or take your knees a little wider if you want to feel some more stretching. You can bend your elbows out to the side and roll off to one cheek. Or you can take your hands behind your back, maybe resting them on your glutes. Letting the shoulders fall in. Letting the weight just bring you down to the floor, ground you in. Letting the ground be a source of charging. Giving your batteries some juice. Take a big breath in. Empty out. And then unraveling your arms, just reaching them up to the top. Take a big breath in. And exhale, sink back into your hips. Find just a little more length in the spine, walking the fingertips out. And empty. We're going to shimmy ourselves forward, taking a Sphinx pose. Your palms, your forearms pressed down, the tops of your thighs, the tops of your feet, drawing your ears away from your shoulders, glancing high. And then take your hands together, bend the elbows out to the side. And you can take a reverse Supta Konasana, opening up the hips, taking your feet together, not focusing on how this looks, just on how it feels, that nice opening. Maybe you move your hands a little forward, letting your chin or your forehead come right down. Take a big breath in. Empty out. Do it again. Fill up. Exhale. And then we're just going to make our way out. We're going to set ourselves up for a belly shavasana. So you can roll over to one cheek. You can use your hands as a pillow, or if you used a blanket or a bolster, you can give yourself an actual pillow. Maybe rolling the blanket up, resting your head there, straightening your legs out. Maybe allowing your arms to go back down by your sides, rounding the shoulders down and in, taking a load off. Big breath in and empty. Now imagining that light that was following us through practice as it grows into a nice big blanket, covering you from your shoulders to your toes. Take a big breath in. Empty out. And drift away. And then start to bring attention back into your breathing. Maybe wiggling your fingers, maybe flipping your palms. And then setting up for a fetal position, tucking your knees in. And then start to bring yourself back up and out. Meeting in our comfortable seat once again. Maybe that's cross-legged, maybe it's sitting on your heels, maybe your eyes stay closed, or maybe your gaze just drops. We'll do 2 breaths in before the exhale. Fill up. 1 more. And empty. Thank you so much for joining me for today's practice. If you enjoyed this practice, please let me know. Let me know what you would like to see more of. I would love to do that for you. If you liked this enough to share this with a friend or subscribe to the channel, I would be so grateful. Either way, have a fantastic day. Take care.